right, welcome back, everybody, for what is usually members first content. But once again, with doing 2 live shows over the weekend, I was running a little bit behind. So everybody's getting this on Monday late afternoon as soon as I'm done recording this, editing it, and getting it right out to you guys. So hopefully you're enjoying this as well as everything else here on the channel. This is going to be my Wednesday watch list for this week, July 12th, 2023. So these are the new books coming out this Wednesday that I'm keeping my eye on, from some homages to some incentives, etc. Things that I have in different categories from my week to week. There's some not great stuff in there as well, and there's usually some reading list stuff. But this week, I don't think there's anything I'm really looking forward to reading. But before we get to that, there's still plenty of other books to get and plenty of really cool covers. But I don't think there's anything I can't wait to read. But before we get ahead of ourselves, like I said, hopefully you're enjoying everything here on the channel. And all you got to do is wait for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be back for the Wednesday watch list for this week. Okay, so as I teased there in the open, yeah, I don't have anything that I really felt was really buzzworthy for this week, nor is there anything I felt that I had to put on my reading list. There'll be plenty of stuff that I read, to be sure, but there's nothing that's like top of the pile. I got to make sure I sit down and get to this first. So what I did notice for this week is there are a few things that I thought were not great. We hit up a couple on SNS because, as I said, I did 2 live shows this past weekend, and I was on the Saturday SNS show. So those boys do their look ahead too for the best and worst covers of the week, and I was in agreement on a couple of them. So you may see a couple of duplicates here because similar thought processes. But I do have a couple extras that they did not bring up, like this Hulk 181. We are getting yet another facsimile reprint, so almost like a second printing of a second printing? I don't know. A new printing of the facsimile. Whatever the heck that means. Including a foil version for $8. Why do we need a foil version of Hulk 181? What possible good does that serve? Who needs it? Honestly, I'm asking. So let me know in the comment section if you'll be buying the foil version. And if possible, can you tell me why? Because either you have a real Hulk 181 or you don't. And if you don't, you probably already have your version of it, whether it be the last facsimile, some other reprint, etc. Why the foil? Why would you pay $8 for it? I don't know. That's just me. Maybe you guys like the shiny foil better than I do. I mean, I lived through it through the 90s, so it's not new to me. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's all it is. But whatever the case, I can assure you I will not be spending $8 to buy a foil version of this reprint again. Just not going to do it. Not going to get my money. I'm like, how many times are you going to try to get my money? Like, I don't know. That said, that's the first not great of the week. I had to bring this one up to Kyle because he didn't even see it. But we do have a Liefeld Homager cover this week, which is his, well, actually, it wasn't really Uncanny. It was technically still just the X-Men. This is the last issue of the X-Men, even though Uncanny's on the title, 141. It didn't officially start becoming called Uncanny X-Men until the next issue, 142. But that's just a side little note. This is his version, Rob Liefeld's version, which just seems like a sketch. It's really what these feel like. They just don't feel complete. They don't feel finished. It feels like it's a con sketch that got colored. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe you guys like these. I don't know. If you want to buy it, go ahead. But this is his cover for the X-Men Days of Future Past Doomsday. So they're following up on Days of Future Past and felt we needed another version of this cover with a couple extra characters thrown in with some, I don't know, Liefeld. I can't say goodness. Liefeldness. But buy it if that's what you want to do. We also talked about this. Turtles of Stranger Things. If you guys are following Threads, I put Rennavision on Threads now. I'm not going to post like I do on IG for all the shows and things like that, or even pickups. I think I might just use Threads for more musings and thoughts on books for each week. So if something strikes me like, why is Edge of Venomverse only the one in 25 selling if that manga Venom is so popular? Why isn't the regular cover selling? And this. Who asked for this? Do we really need is anybody actually even reading the Stranger Things comics to begin with? And do we need to cross them over with the Turtles? I don't know. And yes, that one, that's not a great cover. There are multiple covers, and we'll get into some of that later because they had some lofty ideals of how many people they thought were going to be buying this thing to have some really, really high incentives. We'll get to those later. And again, maybe I'm off base. Maybe you guys can't wait for this and you're really looking forward to read this. Again, tell me why in the comments section. I just don't see it. Like, I'm looking forward to the last season of Stranger Things for that series to be wrapped up. I don't think I really need to see them stretch any more Turtle crossovers with other characters. Yeah, Turtles and Batman. That's fine. You know, all well and good. Great. Turtles Power Rangers. Okay. Turtles Street Fighter. Okay. Turtles Stranger Things. I don't think so. Like I said, I think I'd be more into the Turtles Golden Girls crossover. That's the one I kind of want to see now. If this is what we're going to be doing, well, let's do it right. But with that, I was going to put this next one in the later printing section because it is a later printing, but I felt like it belonged here in the not great section. And that is this. First off, I actually do like this cover. So that's not why this is here. This is Amazing Spider-Man 26. This is a Carrie Andrews cover for this second printing. I actually like this. This is the regular cover. But the reason why it's here is not because of this. And this is the issue that, you know, Kamala Khan dies, even though we know she's coming right back. Even though we got fallen, I don't know. Whatever the case, it's not because of this. It's because they did another incentive. But this time, they had the stones to say, you know what? We're not doing a 1 in 25 on the second print incentive. We want a 1 in 50 on this incentive. A 1 in 50. Really? Is this necessary? Just so we can see people sell bundles of the regular second print on eBay for like 10 copies of the second print for $30, just so they can recoup some of their costs because they had to order 50 to get this incentive. Do we really need that? I don't know. But it's a version of this cover. Not bad art, sure, but do we need this? Do we? I don't know. But you see, it's going to keep happening because you guys keep spending money on it. Because look, even before this is out, pre-sales of this 1 in 50 are about double, if not more, with copies selling for about $100 to up to 130 going back over the last week or so. So you guys are throwing money at it, so they're going to keep doing it because shops are going to keep ordering and so high to get these books so they can sell them at these high premiums. Eventually, diminishing returns, and it's not going to be worth it, and they're going to get burned by one of these. And eventually, this has got to stop. But for now, we got asking prices $100, $130, $150 for this 1 in 50 second print incentive for the death of Kamala Khan. Like I said, it's just not for me. Not for me. But don't worry. This isn't all doom and gloom. Yes, we started off on the negative note with the not great stuff, but there's still plenty more to come, even amongst the later prints. So that's where we're going to go to next, following that later print with a regular selection of later prints. And yeah, we probably don't need this either, but at least it doesn't have an incentive coming with it. And that's the third print for Spider-Man. What is it, 7? So again, Spider-Boy, first appearance, reprint, third printing. Yeah, sure. At least there's no incentive. Sure. We are also getting a DC Pride second print for that one shot. This is like a $9 book, mind you. And once again, no incentive. It's just the second print. So, hey, if you need it, you missed it, you want it, it's just a slightly recolored version of a cover they already had out there. I believe the first one was gray, so now we got a bright pink cover, which actually pops a bit more. But if you want to go pay for it again, go ahead. There it is, available for you. Along with, if you miss Storm. So Storm #1, we get a second printing there as well. Not terrible, not bad. You know, if you missed out, here's your chance to get, you know, your copy to read. Daredevil Echo has also got a second print coming our way. This one is just a recolored like version of the Noto cover on the first one, which is solid art, but it's just a recolored version, it's not new art, so that's a little disappointing. But there it is, another second print coming your way. If you need it, you missed it, you got a second shot at it. Edge of Spider-Verse, I think this is Edge of Spider-Verse 2 that's getting the second print. This is not the one with the Spider-Boy origin, which really wasn't much of an origin. This is the issue before, so I think this is 2. I'm not even sure which Spider-Man this is supposed to be. Honestly, I don't care. I just don't care. Every week there's 2 new Spider-Man characters, versions of Spider-Man, be it from different countries, multiverses, etc., timelines. I don't care. It's too much. It's too much, too soon, too quickly, all on top of each other. Just see, let's see what hits. Throw everything they can think of at the wall. But whatever. If you're into it, cool. I mean, I'm not going to try to rain on your parade. I'm just saying, for me, it's just too much. But I will also admit, despite the fact that there were 10 covers, of which I bought them all, I can't believe I got to buy a second print of this one, but I do. It's Battle Chasers number 10. I told you, I'm a Joe Mad fan. I've got all the covers. I even got all the exclusive covers for this book. So I got to make sure I get a second print of it because, well, it's another cover. So, yeah, I ordered one, but only one. I'm not saying invest in it. It's just my OCD collecting, kind of habit. There's certain things I just want to have in my collection. As long as I can afford it, I'm going to go for it. And I can afford $4. Yes, it's another $4 on top of a bunch of other money I already put in this book, but it's only $4. So I'll do it again. If you missed something epic, we do have a second print there. I think this is issue 2. This is for issue 2. I still haven't sat down to read this. I do have a few of these because the Homage covers have caught my eye and have me interested, but I haven't sat down to read it yet. Let me know if it's any good, and maybe this could have made the reading list if it is, but I have a feeling it's going to be just meh, okay. But I'll catch up to it. And up next, we do have some Void Rival second prints, and I could have sworn they were going to take a shot at an incentive here because they probably could have, and they probably would have gotten me shelling out money for this because I like both of these. Here's the first one, Jetfire. I like the white, the Autobot logo just popping behind him. I did order one of these, so I thought this was cool, even though I already got the 1/100 of this book and a couple of the other covers. I don't have all of them. I don't think this is like a major key. I mean, yes, it's the start of this new Energon verse, but it's really not anything new. Like, it's not the first time we've seen the Transformers. It's just like a new volume. So, temper your expectations on investing in it, I should say. But if it's a good read and people are into it, well, for that reason alone, it might still maintain some higher values. But we'll see. We'll see. But there is another second print cover for this second printing. Thankfully, it's not an incentive, but it is an homage. So we're going to go over to our homage section and kind of linking it up. I tried to have a through line story as we go through the books this week and see if this works. But the other second print, and we talked about this, and the SNS boys didn't like this. I was a fan. I think Sam was on my side because we were both talking about the Grover voice, but the Void Rivals, the monster at the end of this book, homage, I thought it was good. I thought it was funny. And there's Jetfire. Oh, there's a Transformers bot at the end of this book. I thought that was funny, the whole thing. And you got the Cybertron on the street sign. Hello, everybody. You even got that. I thought this was good. So I also made sure to order one of these for myself, just for my collection, because one, I like the Void Rivals. I'm looking forward to the Transformer stuff over at Skybound. But two, I am a big fan of the monster at the end of this book. Me and my wife, we read this to our son over and over again when he was really little. So this one, special place right here. So I had to make sure I bought this one. But we have some less special homages that are just kind of there, like something epic. I don't know why they feel the need to do 4 covers for every issue when none of them are incentives. I don't know. It just seems wasteful. But for whatever reason, we got our last action hero homage. Just what I always wanted. It's not a terrible movie, but it's not great. Some funny bits in it, I guess. But yeah, it's not Arnold's best. But here we go. We have and it's not even really like solid 1-for-1 like homage. That always bothers me too. It's like, why did you change the pose here? Like, it should have matched up. I mean, it doesn't have to be hanging from the helicopter, but there's no reason you had to reverse the angle of the leg and the kid. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't. Why? Just make it the way, whatever. But I'm a stickler for that kind of thing. I like it when it's a 1-for-1 like replication of it. I mean, otherwise, why are you doing the homage if you're gonna be messing things up and just half-assing it? But not to say it's half-assed art. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying paying attention to detail. I have very high regard for. But with that said, they got this other one too, where they're doing Star Wars. Which, all right. I mean, I get it. You can't do the same. He's not gonna hold a lightsaber in this case, but it is what it is. All right, fair enough. Another homage to Star Wars, the movie poster, because we don't have enough of them. But all right, they made another one. Here's one for you. A 1-in-25 for Dark Ride. I mean, Dark Ride's been doing this for their whole run, basically. Some of them have hit, but not all of them. This one's Frozen. I don't know. Are there still Frozen fans out there that are really going to be rushing towards this? Maybe, if some of these early sales are any indication, because here we go. 1-in-25 for Dark Ride. I think this is issue 6 or 7. Let's double check it here with the eBay listings. But we do have some sales. Issue 7. Once over round ratio back in May, and then look, July 5th, $45. So started hitting double ratio thereabouts. None available. None available. Sorry. Before I moved on a little too quickly, but there were none available at the time when I collected this data on Sunday. I think I did it Sunday afternoon, so just yesterday. Wanted to sit down and record this, but then I ended up going on the Star Wars show, so that's why you guys got this late. I was going to sit out Star Wars this week, but then Wayseeker was going to be late, so I felt like, all right, I'll hop on for a bit, and here we are. Liquid Kill, another series, and this is one of those, those, what do you call it? The Whatnot books, and they've done tons of homages. They can't get enough homages on all of their books. So we got another one, Kill Bill. It's not one we have not seen before, but it's all right. It's a good replication, if you ask me. Again, from the pose to the layout and the text, etc. I like it. With the attention to detail is followed. But take it or leave it, if you will. We got some more Rick and Morty. They love to do their callbacks to things, and here we got Temple of Doom with Rick and Morty: Heart of Rickness. I have not been reading this series. I've actually not been reading the Rick and Morty comics for a while. I collected them for a bit, and then I just got out. Like, I sold them all. Like, I just sold the whole collection of them because, like, you know what? I don't want to keep up with it, so I felt like I didn't need to hold on to what I did have. I didn't even have the whole run. I had some later printings of some other issues, some various things, so I just cashed out when the books were still kind of hot. Not super hot, not at their height, but still did all right cashing in when I did. But they're still going. They're still going. And I still love watching the show. It's just the comics I have not kept up with. And again, if you think I should, let me know in the comment section if I should. It's just, we all got to make cuts, and we all got to make decisions about what we're getting on a month-to-month basis, and we can't get everything. Or at least I can't get everything. I can't afford to get everything. Space-wise or wallet-wise, there's got to be a line somewhere. So if I need to reevaluate that line and swap this in for something else, feel free. Hit me up, throw a comment out there. Let me at least consider it and think about it. But with that, we're still not done. We're still going. There's still more homages here. Going to Turtles. So this is Turtles. What is this? Issue 141. I'm pretty sure this is a callback here to Hughes's Catwoman 51. I mean, it's not a 100% one-for-one match, but I think it's close enough to say that these go together. I mean, also, the pose in a lineup isn't unique in and of itself. I mean, that's something we've seen before, but I still feel like this is a connection here. Just seems close enough to me. We got another Disney book. Feels like it's been a little while, but we do have another Disney homage. This time, Minnie doing her best Captain Marvel here on the Captain Marvel one. So this is What If Minnie Mouse was Captain Marvel, Disney 100. 100. I think there's also a black and white 100 of this. Yeah, if you're interested, go for it. I guess. Yeah, I'm kind of over these. Like, it was fun for a little bit, but I think it's been dragging on a little bit too long. I don't really know if I need too many more of these, but whatever. Fun thing to collect, I guess. Here we go. Mentioning that fallen friend that we had with the Kamala Khan passing away. I mean, it's no longer a spoiler. I mean, it happened like a month or two ago now. But right here on the cover of that issue, we do have that callback to Ms. Marvel number 50, which is the final issue of Ms. Marvel before Carol became Captain Marvel. So here we go. Not bad. Not a bad little callback there. And tying into the Marvels and all that, it makes sense to homage with the family, the Marvel family, I guess. But with that, there is an incentive. This is one of the covers you can get. I think it's like the B cover. But there is also a 1 in 50 incentive version. That is a virgin. A lot of empty space at the top. I don't think I really need the virgin in this case. It's unbalanced without the trade dress to me. But let's see what this thing's been pre-selling for. This thing has been hit. Oh, what did I do with the book? Well, it's still been selling for 42, 57, 55, 112. So there was a very early high sale back in May. But by and large, it's been right around that ratio mark. But the asking prices right now are much higher. Oh, here we go. There's the book. Oh, that's why I cut. It's because of the anyway. 120, 90, 160 are the asking prices right now. Well above ratio. We'll see. We notice the difference between what is actually selling and what is remaining on the market. There is a wide gap between the two on pre-sales. So we will see what happens come Wednesday, but I got a feeling prices of the asks will start getting closer to the actual sales rather than vice versa. I don't think we'll start to see too many sales reaching 160, where we'll probably be seeing more sales closing in down more towards that $60-$70 range at best, if the two start to meet in the middle. But we'll see. That's just my guess. But that's why I do this. I have my guesses of what will happen, but I'm really curious, and I'm just going to track what happens when we hit Wednesday, and then see if anything makes my top 10 and 10 at the end of the week. But if you thought we were done, we're not. There are more homages. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, is also doing the Amazing 238 with the Hobgoblin because, again, it's another cover we haven't seen enough, so we're getting it again. It's all right, I guess. I'm just get something new. I don't know. Something new would be nice. Moving on. Web of Carnage. What is this, you ask? Well, this is part of a connecting cover set that we're getting, including some more of these Carnage books that are coming this summer that we were alerted to via this announcement about the Summer of Symbiotes right here. So we expect to see at least one more of these to finish off this connecting cover set. The madness begins. And this, if you didn't know, is an homage to that Jim Lee piece inside one of the summer swimsuit issues that I actually just did the Marvel one this weekend in my shorts. So go check that out if you're interested. But we are almost done with the homages, but we're still going. Up next, Scarlet Witch number 6, I think, is the recent issue that's coming out. And this is one I didn't know right away. And like they call it the Lucas Wernick homage cover. I had to do a little digging to figure it out. And then once I saw it, I was like, oh, it's not exactly a perfect match, but you can see it. The Vision and Scarlet Witch number 1 from that miniseries. You see the windows, again, because the windows don't match up how they're laid out in the background, but the poses are kind of there. And you see the 3 hands that line up with the hands like coming at them. So there you go. So it's like not a perfect connective, like a rendition, but it is an updated version, which I know I just said I didn't like changes, but this I don't mind because the original, could use a little tweaking. That's all. So I do like this newer version. Whereas this last Action Hero of just changing that pose, it just wasn't great to begin with, but whatever. We got another one. I think this might be the last one, and it's an incentive. So Harley destroys the Harley screws up the DC universe, has been running these 1 in 25 homage covers throughout the run. This is issue 5. It's Superman versus Spider-Man cover. Classic. I mean, pretty well done. Again, you can see trade dress. Everything matches there. The annoying Harley Quinn versus the the amazing Spider-Man. Pretty fun that they did that too with the trade dress. This one's actually doing well already with the pre-sales because there was one sale. Couple hit right around ratio, 1 to 25. And then out of nowhere, there's a $120 sale. So could be an outlier. Could be not an actual sale for that amount. Could be a shenanigan sale to try to boost this one up. I don't know. But I will say that one was there, and the asking prices are pretty high right now. Again, I don't know if that 120 sale is to try to justify the rest of these 120 asks, because look, there's 120. It looks like the same seller. It has another copy for $120, and then you have all the covers for that book for $150 or 125 ask there from somebody else. I don't know. So it's just worth watching. It's just worth paying attention to. We'll see if this will make the cut when we do the top 10 in 10, but it will not make the cut just based off of this. I'll tell you that much. Like, one sale does not a hot book make to me, but we'll see what happens once we actually hit Tuesday, because it's a DC book. So once Tuesday hits and copies start actually hitting people's hands, if they start exchanging hands for more than that 1 in 25 ratio or not. So we'll see. Something worth watching. But no, I'm sorry, we're not done yet. We still got more. We still have more. Another DC. Night Terrors, 1 in 25. This Night Terrors number 1. Why we got Night Terrors 1 after all of the other one-shots last week? I don't know why they didn't. I figured the story would start here, but whatever. But a 1 in 25. Callback to World's Finest, issue 195. Pretty cool. Batman, Superman, digging, reversing kind of positions here with these nightmare versions of themselves. Pretty cool. No crazy sales in this. This is actually selling for well under ratio at the moment. There's a lot of like $10, $15 listings. So this one's actually on the cheaper side if you're into it. But I just want to keep an eye on it to see what happens. And it's an homage. So, yeah, something different. This is not an homage cover we see a lot of. So I thought it was good and interesting, at least. So worth paying attention to come Tuesday, Wednesday. Wildcats. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I saw this cover, Grifter, Zealot, reminding me of that Life magazine, the sailor kissing the nurse. It's the first thing I thought of. So whether this was intentional or not, it's again not 100% perfect match, but I think it's close enough. And I think that's kind of the vibe they were going for. Maybe, love is a battlefield too. You got that kind of thing, war. Maybe I could be off base, but it's there and it's out there if you're interested. I'm mildly interested. I'm like in and out. Like I fall in and out of the Wildcats thing. Like I have again, Jim Lee fan, so I read the original Image stuff, or at the very least, I looked at the art of the original Image stuff, even though I don't remember a lot of the stories very well. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But this reminded me of that Life magazine cover, so I thought we'd put it there. And no, we're still not done. We still have some more homages coming. This time, generic, not an actual one for one, the Death Dealer, but it is a Nintendo box. I just showed you a random black box Nintendo game to show you that that's what they're going for with the pixels. But yeah, that's kind of the idea of the layout with the trade dress and all that stuff. So old school NES original black box game is what they're going for with Death Dealer, and I think this was this is a variant, obviously. This might be a 1 in 10. I'm not positive, or it could be cover. I think it's cover price actually. I'd left listed as cover price, so it must be cover. And then we got some other weird stuff. A couple of weird stuff to finish up, I think. We're going to finish up homages because this is the bulk of the show here. Look how many we had. This is like a dozen at least. But Svengoolie. Perhaps Svengoolie's only an East Coast thing. I think this is like a New York-based show where it's kind of like he's like a host in between shows. So kind of like what Rhonda Shear would do on USA or even Elvira, like at night, like Svengoolie would be there in between commercials while running through some old horror stuff in the New York area. I didn't really know much about it, but because I'm more South Jersey, I'm more Philly than New York, but there's enough connectivity that I know it's up there because it's close enough. But Svengoolie, Lost in Time, this cover, apart from having the 3 boxes from those old EC books, like kind of a callback there, the rest of it you can see is that House of Secrets. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? House of Secrets 92. So we had that. Then we got some Jaws. I mean, it's summertime after all. Shark Fest is in play. Shark Week is on its way. But we got a couple of Jaws covers, starting with Black Demon Tales. This time with a pirate ship and a giant shark. But you see it. It's a Jaws homage, right? Pretty close enough. Makes you think about it. Same thing with DC also has one with Night Terror's Robin. This is a weird one to choose the Red Hood Nightmare version, and then you put like a weird shark mouth in the reflection, I guess, and there's a ducky, but it's there. You know what they're going for, so it's there. But this brings us with the Night Terror stuff, which still there's some really cool covers. I'm not saying this ain't bad. This is interesting, and this is who did this one? Liam Sharp, maybe. I think this might be a Liam Sharp, Death's Head, UK based. I think that's who did this one. I'm not 100%, but we're going to get into another one this week. We have some more creepy covers. So last week I did it as kind of like a special because there happened to be all those Night Terrors books and some really cool covers. So I made a little subsection out of the regular covers just for these creepy covers. And we got some more this week because we got some more Night Terrors coming our way. Starting with here. And this is the cover A. This is the Dawn of DC Night Terrors #1. This is the regular #1. Once again, that World's Finest is the 1-25 incentive that's selling well below ratio with pre-sales because I think there's going to be plenty of them. This is a pretty cool cover. Like it's just got a lot going on, and then there's a like almost like a blacklight version. I forget what they called it. It's like the neon art version. So there's another variant of this here. This is like old school. This is like put the blacklight on and let's listen to some Grateful Dead or something. I don't know, but it's kind of cool. Kind of jumps out at you. And there are a few more of these Night Terrors books that I think the art is pretty good, including we got this pretty awesome Dead Man here on this one. I think this is a Matina. So that's a pretty cool Dead Man cover, if you ask me. We had another Jason Todd Red Hood here with the bats forming into a Batman here in the Robin issue. I think that's pretty cool. It's a nice, nice layout and use of the bats to build that texture and layers. I like it. We got this Flash. This is the cover A for Flash, but I kind of like it with the arm, like the arm and the leg grabbing him, like pulling him back. It's, you know, it's kind of a visceral. It gives you that that sense of uncomfortableness just looking at it, because you can put yourself in Flash's place here and just feel somebody kind of pulling you back. And again, that's the cover A. These aren't even like B card stocks you got to pay for. This is just A cover, which ain't bad. Just like this one, it's a Lucio Perillo on Green Lantern here. Just I don't know, just well done. This one's not that creepy per se, but it still fit in this section, so I put it here. I just like it. I just think it's pretty good Perillo art. So if you like Perillo's painted style, boom, there you go. Got him on Green Lantern. And Saturday we talked about this. This one popped up. So you got Zatanna on her Night Terrors book, and yeah, it's pretty messed up. Half her face is falling off, but it like kind of blends that line. It's got like a zombie tramp kind of thing where you're just like, should I be titillated by this image or not? Because it's pretty messed up. But there it is. You decide for yourself how it makes you feel. But with this book, there's another one, and actually all of these books have this 3-color version, this black, white, and red. I forget who's doing these, but this one kind of jumped out at me. This Zatanna one jumped out at me because it's just her head being held in a hand. I thought it was kind of cool, but it's that 3-color, a lot of red, and basically black and white. But all of these have this type of variant across all of these Night Terrors books, I think. And I forget who's doing these. I can't, the signature, can't place the signature, but pretty awesome. And like I said, I think I like this one. Outside of Night Terrors, we do have a couple others, I think, or at least one, because over on the Marvel side of things, we're getting a Red Goblin, and Spawn cover art is Bjorn. I don't know how to say the name. His stuff looks almost like CGI video game, like something like that. I don't know, but this Red Goblin, the textures of it and the brightness of it, it's just creepy. Like just seeing that, it's almost, you can almost feel like it's skin. And it's just a flaming mouth, that grin. This is actually pretty creepy. I think it's not bad. So this Red Goblin, I don't even remember what his issues of Red Goblin is up to at this point, but it doesn't matter. You see this on the shelf. If it grabs you, go ahead and grab it. Speaking of covers, got to move on. Finally done with Homage. We're done with the creepy stuff. Let's get into the regular covers, and we're going to start in with a JTC. Negative Space. We got a Werewolf by Night. But this is actually on Moon Knight number 25. So Moon Knight number 25 has got a couple of covers that I like. It's got a higher price tag, though. I think it's like an $8 book. So I think it's a oversized anniversary issue, 1 of 25. But I did actually order one of these ahead of time because it was John Tyler Christopher, and it was going to be a Negative Space cover. I had no knowledge of what the image would be. I bought it on a blind, knowing what it was going to be. And I like it, actually. I think that's pretty cool. So pretty cool Werewolf by Night one there. Keep an eye out for. And again, it should be a cover price version along with this one. I just like this. This was shoot, who was the artist on this one? Was this Jimmy Chung, maybe? I forget, but it's just a classic Moon Knight image. I know, but something about it, I dig it. I just like that, you got the crescent moon shape with the cape and all that. I just think it's a pretty good cover. And there's another one too. We'll get into the art term a little bit later. More on Marvel side of things. This Planet of the Apes, it's pretty solid. This is John Jiang, who's been killing it lately on these covers, and this is just a badass gorilla. I mean, there's no two bones about it. Like, it's just a pretty cool gorilla here on the Planet of the Apes cover. So I thought it warranted a spot of mention on the covers this week. Bounty Hunters. It's all right. I kind of like this Boba Fett here. I was a little thrown off because I thought her name was Death Sticks, but it's just Death Stick. And then I think I was confusing it with the, hey, you want to buy some Death Sticks? But all right, it's Death Stick, even though she carries 2. But okay, not bad. It's just not a bad Bounty Hunter cover. Maybe not the best, but still felt like it deserved a spot of mention because it'll probably be the cover I grab out of the bunch. Same here with the Darth Vader. I like the mirror image of like the Queen Amidala thing in the back there, and you got the I don't know. I like it. So this is probably going to be the Vader I try to grab this week to continue my Vader run. Out of nowhere weirdness. I know I ordered the Venom Spider-Man ones, the cartoon adventures, but I missed pre-ordering at least the Saturday morning variant for the X-Men here. So I did just make a Midtown order this week to get a couple of these second prints, and I put this in there to make sure that I would get this by the end of the week. And yeah, so it's Saturday morning variant. So I kind of think they're fun. It looks like those old advertisements from back in the day. At least it's nostalgic for me. So I kind of like it. Granted, I get it. The art's cartoony and all that stuff, but that's the whole point. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it. Take it for what it is for yourself. But this is on the Doomsday Days. It's better than that damn Liefeld homage. I'll say that. So this is the one I'm getting. Moving on to a couple more covers here. We do have this Sirens of the City. I just like the street, like just the background there with the lights. It's got like a almost like a silk print kind of like thing. Like it's almost like a picture with art mixed together. I like it. I like it. And there's also a Jenny Frison cover for this one as well. I think it's a Boom book. So Sirens of the City. I'll give it a try just because I like these covers. So I'm gonna get at least one of them. And then I'll actually open it up and see what's inside too. And if it's good, maybe I'll keep getting it. I don't know. We'll see. And then the last book here is I didn't know this was even coming out, and it feels weird because I just wanted to finish the coupons, which I actually still need to mail in to get the special Essentia book, the Frank Miller or the J. Scott Campbell book. But Essentia is still rolling, and issue 18 has this pretty gorgeous Perlo cover there. So missed out on this one, but I'm sure I can go pick it up somewhere. Always remember, if you miss out on these Essentia books, don't fret. You can order them directly from Torpedo, and don't let the eBay shipping scare you off. On the actual Torpedo website, the shipping is not as bad. You don't have to pay like $10 per book. It might be so you just want to kind of make like a more than one issue order still, but it's still not as bad if you order directly from them. So just a tip if you're into that kind of thing. You're into that because they also sell more than this book, but this book I think comes through them. This Wake Entertainment I think comes through Torpedo, so that's why they have extra copies on hand and why you can get them there still after they're sold out in a lot of other places. That said, let's finish up the week because we're almost up to 40 minutes already. Incentives. So the incentives this week, I don't have a ton. I mean, we mixed some into the other sections as we went through the show here already, but Betsy Cola has this Scarlet Witch #6. It's got like a Bewitched vibe, but it wasn't like a one-for-one Bewitched for me to call it an homage. So it feels inspired by, but I wouldn't say that's definitely what it is because I don't know. Pretty cool. You got the jack-o'-lantern with Vision's head on it, and it's doing okay. It's still right around that ratio mark. Still worth noticing and worth paying attention to see what happens if this does get gain any traction as the week goes on. But right now, 35 to 25 have been a couple of pre-sales. Asking prices are asking $30, so a little over ratio, up to $50. We'll see where this kind of settles in, or if copies start moving more than that as the week goes on. Just want to keep an eye on. I like it, but don't love it. But like I said, I'm going to watch it. My Little Pony 40th anniversary special. I know there's some of you bronies out there, but some of these can go for decent money already. This 1 in 25 for this special one shot, which already has a pretty steep cover price to begin with. I think this is like $8 to $10 because it's an anniversary issue. But copy sold for $100 already for this 1 in 25. Asking prices. There's one up for 60. There's one up for $100. Will these prices hold? I don't know, but I'm going to watch it and I'm going to keep an eye on it because I'm kind of curious. And if you think that's crazy, there's also a 1 in 50. I actually had these reversed at first, but this is actually the 1 in 50. Another cool, pretty kind of picture because it's got the toys on the wall. It's almost like you're inside like the toy aisle at the old Toys R Us or something like that. Pretty fun. I kind of like it. But once again, prices $225 sale on this bad boy. We're 1 in 50. Granted, that was back in June, so that was a very, very early pre-sale. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Don't want to put too much stock in it, but that did happen. But the asking price is, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't grab. I don't think there's any. That's why. I think I meant to delete this, but I don't think I found any listed as of yesterday. So pay no attention. I still had the 1 in 25 in the deck. Sorry, like I said, it's been a busy weekend, so I did my best. So mistakes are bound to happen, and I don't feel like editing this out. But let's move on to the next book. Like I said, just keep an eye on it. We'll see where this kind of falls come Wednesday. But this Eastman cover, at first, I only saw this is the 1 in 50. This is actually pretty awesome. I'm not a big fan of the sketch versions or the black and whites, but this is pretty awesome for an Eastman. I thought this was an Art Adams. This looks like an Art Adams Godzilla cover to me, but this looks like it's Leatherhead. the texture of it, the scales. It's pretty sweet. The regular version that this is based off of, there is a red cover out there for issue 141, the B cover. It's not bad, but for whatever reason, just the sketch is it's more impressive. I don't know. And with that, the price is kind of there too. Pre-sale only about $40, so it's under ratio that one sale back in June, so a few weeks ago. And then the asking prices right now on this bad boy are a little bit more though, 90 to $100. So we'll see where this one falls, just like the rest. But a 1 in 50 asking double ratio, it's a pretty cool cover. It is a pretty cool cover. I will say that. Looks like I made another little mistake here in the deck coming up, but we'll kind of speed through it. Yeah, well, it's not that one. It's supposed to be this one. There we go. 1 in 100, The Hunger and the Dusk from IDW. It's like a fantasy story tale or something. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know why we need a 1 in 100 of it. There's a 1 in 75, there's 1 in 50, 120. There's a lot of incentives. IDW is not shy with the incentives these days. I prefer it when it's just the 1 in 10s, but there's a gold cover here for the 1 in 100. Nothing pre-sold that I could speak to. Asking prices right now, 130 up to $200. Will that be met? I don't know, because this is a newer series. I don't know if there's a lot of buzz on it or anything like that to really warrant the price of that. I get it. It'll be rare because who's ordering 100 copies of this? But rarity alone does not equal value all the time. It just doesn't. There has to be demand. That's a very important factor when we're talking about things. Demand. Rarity on its own don't mean anything if there's no demand. So you can have a 1 of 1, but if nobody wants it, your 1 of 1 ain't worth shit. That's all I'm saying. But with that, we'll get back to the art germ that I mentioned. Is we're almost done. Art germ on that 1 in 20, that issue 25 of Moon Knight. There's a 1 in 200 version of it. So it's a virgin version, so it won't have the little Marvel logo, but that's where I got the picture from. So that's why it's there. There is a trade dress version of this that you'll be able to buy. It'll probably look something similar to this, but with barcode, etc. But the 1 in 200 will be a virgin version. And right now, a 1 in 200 sold for $300 back at early June. Very early pre-sale. That's a month ago. That's all I could find as far as pre-sales go. These types of things, it's tough to gauge what's going to happen. Ratio's so high. Prices start out so high. There's not a ton of movement. Asking prices are pretty steep right now. 500, 900. Yeah, I get it. There's not going to be a lot of these. But I don't know if the market is going to meet those prices. We'll see, and that's why I'm paying attention to keep an eye on it. But as I said, this is not my shopping list for the week because I ain't buying this. I can't afford this. I wouldn't want to throw this kind of money at a 1 in 200. Yeah, it looks gorgeous. I like Archer. Looks gorgeous, but no way. No way am I pulling the credit card out for this. But prices are there. We'll see what happens. We'll see if other people decide to pull out their wallets for it. As we have one more book or one more title with 2 books to finish up our show for this week. And we're getting back to that Who Asked for This? Turtles, Stranger Things crossover. Yes, that is a 1 in 250. That's right. 1 in 250. Pretty cool cover. If it wasn't a 1 in 250, I think it might be cool enough to get just for the cover art alone. Who cares about the guts of the book? But pretty fun, arcade machine, etc. None have sold yet, but the asking prices for the 1 in 250 are already well below ratio. Look, 180, right around $200, 175. So they're already pre-selling or pre-asking, not even selling, pre-asking at a discount because that ratio is so high. 1 in 250. Who's ordering 250 copies of this? How many people are going to have this? But there are copies out there. People did order enough. I get maybe this was returnable. That's also a possibility. Maybe that's how they got it. They just ordered up to 500 so they could get this one because, yes, there is a 1 in 500 sketch version of this or black and white version. The color's better, in my opinion, but this is the higher ratio. So I have to talk about it. Demogorgon right there. Just like the other one. Nobody's bought one of these yet, at least on eBay. And the asking prices are also underneath, not well below, but underneath that 500 ratio. So asking $400 or two of the copies. And then there's one at auction that was only at 55 cents, but it's got days to go. We'll see what happens. I'll be curious to see where that auction ends. But yeah, 1 in 500. Who's ordered 500 of this? I don't know. Somebody apparently. But with that, finally, 45 minutes in, we are done with the Wednesday watch list. Apologize for the number of homages, but I didn't make them. I'm just here to talk about them. And with that, thank you for the support. Thank you for stopping by. Again, I'm sorry, members. I couldn't get this to you early, but just the weekend was too busy. But hopefully you guys all get this. It's like after 4 o'clock already, so I'm going to try to get this at least to you guys by 6 if I can. And yeah, we'll see. And then come back for Hidden Gems, which I still got to record and then edit and get that one out there later tonight too. But with all that said, thank you again for all the support. Appreciate it. Keep watching all the stuff here on the channel. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing it. We are on our way to 3K. And I will see you all later with some more content. All right. Bye.